That's gross over there. I'm gonna get rid of both of these tables. So much clutter. So many desks in this room. Okay, so to be honest with you, these equations shouldn't look too unfamiliar because we've already solved equations like this by square rooting. So we're going to do 5x to the third equals 320. And all I have to tell you, it's right here in green, you want to isolate the expression or term with the exponent. So I want to try to get x to the third by itself. So I'll have to divide both sides by 5. You guys are just writing this down on notebook paper. Yeah, this is right where you normally do bell work. Consider this notes. This is just 2 examples of equations in the same section. Oh wait, I need to write the equation down. And then our first step will be dividing both sides by 5. I need you guys to take your hoodies off and your earbuds out and your headphones off. And what happened is somebody like during a test was like, I always have earbuds in, I can't test down and quiet when I always have earbuds in. And they like argued this with their parents and their guidance and the dean. Like, I have anxiety, I have to listen to music. I've been listening to music in class every day. Why do I have to take them off now? And then they're like changing music on their phones, like the earbuds in during test.
Teachers, please pardon this interruption. All 11th grade teachers at this time, please make sure you have taken attendance for this period. At the end of this announcement, please release your 11th grade students to the auditorium for a conversation. Remind your students to bring their backpacks with them. We will release them from the auditorium to go to their next class. Teachers, if you have all 11th graders, please accompany them to the auditorium. Thank you.
Zero on a test because of music. But like, well, how do we know? Okay, so private now. It's weird. Yesterday, today the 11th grade class, so now it's just 9th and 10th grade or something. Alright, let's move forward. It's supposed to be most of the class here. I don't know. Okay. What I will do is divide by 5. And I'm really in no mood to divide 320 by 5 on my own, and that's okay because I'm always allowed to use a calculator. So are you. Let's push a button in a calculator, guys. Unless you want to go ahead and do. I mean, I know 5 into 20 is 4. 5 into 300 is like 60, so maybe 64. But maybe it's not. Maybe you're just checking a calculator. So I don't know about all that. It is 64. Everything's so much easier if you just have your own calculator. You're sitting there in the dark, no calculator. You got a calculator?
My sister took mine to school.
Is that what you're thinking about right now? Or you calculated it? Or was the sibling? Those calculators locked up. Don't let them have them.
It was in my bag.
Yeah. I believe you. Trust me. I know how to. For your brothers or sisters reference. X to the third is 64. I'm into that. Okay, so now we have to cancel out this little exponent of 3. So I'm going to take the cube root of both sides. In the past, we've square rooted both sides. And now that we have higher exponents, you just match the index to whatever the exponent is. And what happens is they cancel each other out. So now we're at x is the cube root of 64. So now I have to check, does 64 cube root? It does. What's the cube root of 64? And there's our answer. X is 4. Calculator, if I'm sure. If you're not sure about the radical, check it in a calculator. All right, next one. Number 2 looks different. There's parentheses. This expression with the exponents already isolated, I don't see anything in front of the parentheses. I don't see anything on the right side of the parentheses. It's isolated. The expression that's being raised to the exponent, there's nothing in front or in back of it. So I don't have to like divide by 5 like I did in number 1. I can go ahead and try to cancel out the power of 4 by doing the 4th root of both sides. So I put a little 4 in an index. The radical, this is called a 4th root. It's not a square root, it's a 4th root. Okay, when I write the 4th root, it cancels out the exponent of 4. I no longer need the parentheses. This moves to x plus 4. Oh, x plus 3. Sorry about that. X plus 3 is the 4th root of 24. Does 24 4th root? Check that in a calculator. 2 to the 4th. 16. 3 to the 4th. 81. The 4th root of 24 isn't an integer, it's a decimal. So I'm going to leave it in radical form. There are times where I might want to put that in a calculator and write the decimal down. We do that a lot. Sometimes we leave it in simple radical form. These directions say use radical form. That means don't use decimals. So I'm not going to make a decimal here. Okay. Okay, I've missed one really important note. So before I move on, I need a plus or minus sign. So because we're doing a 4th root, we need a plus or minus sign. I didn't need a plus or minus sign in number 1 because it's a cube root. So when the little index is an odd number, no plus or minus sign. If it's even, I do just like I did with square roots and I use a plus or minus sign. All even roots use plus or minus. Odd roots, you do not need a plus or minus. No plus or minus sign for the odd root. All right, we're good, we're good. Okay, last step is to subtract 3 from both sides of this equation. And it's going to be -3 is going to go first, and then the plus or minus sign, and then the 4th root of 24. And that's actually the answer. We have 25 minutes left in class. I made this game for my 5th and 6th period, and then it was still okay today, so I ran with it. So I put a bunch of problems from chapter 5-1 under these pink papers. And so half of the things up here are problems and half of them are answers. So we're going to try to match problems to answers. And if you're lucky, it's all about luck. If you're lucky and you participated and you end up getting a match, you get a free assignment pass. So we're going to go ahead and play this even though I'm like half done right here. So you guys get some free assignment passes. I do need one student volunteer that's willing to stand up at the front of the room the entire class and flip over pink papers. Okay, you had your hand up first. You're gonna hold over the pink papers. You're also gonna pick numbers out of here.